gives you the power of AI to build the website you need with full business functionality and a design tailored just for you. Customize every element of your website and watch your vision come to life in minutes. Control everything from the biggest tasks to the finest details. Personalized, optimized, ready to go live.
Disney? 313 Fiverr freelancers have worked with Disney. Designers, developers, marketers, you name it. Find the perfect one for your business. Fiverr. Start now.
You are now listening to CTR Media Network.
What up, family? CTR Media Network. Yeah. Best in the biz. Yeah. Join the team. CTR is who we are. The media network, that's the best by far. Whether you listen at your home, at your job, in your car.
This is Olivia Tucker. I should say Dr. Olivia Tucker, and she is listening to the podcast on CTR Media Network.
That's me. I'm so happy to be here. Thanks to her, my podcast.
We got it. Reaching 350 million. They tuning in. We in 50 different countries. We all can. And like minded, find your purpose and your assignment. Come get your fix, your feel, your mental alignment. Get active and speak to the masses. Build your influence all levels and all classes. Now you know you can monetize and grow. CTR Media Network. Start the show. CTR Media Network. CTR Media Network. CTR Media Network. CTR Media Network. CTR is who we are. The media network, that's the best by far, you know. CTR Media Network. CTR Media Network.
CTR Media Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to ctrmedianetwork.com.
Walk on streets that whisper tales, spotlight, or witness. In a world that judges cover, not the soul's richness. In my eyes is history's pain and pride's resilience. I stand tall, the shade of strength beyond their insistence. Each stride I take, a march of legacy honor, marking trails for tomorrow's sons and daughters. Facing all these trials feels like a test relentless. Life painted in perception, but my skin's the sentence. Complex man, not just the hashtag, no shorter. My story's deep, it's more than what the surface offers. My thoughts are heavy, carry wisdom like a scholar. Dark skin, a target, but born a natural leader. Move through the world, my presence commanding silence. King in truth. Authority fight violence. Vivid is the vision, struggle turned into art. Every scar I've earned, a testament of heart. Not defined by the hues that paint my being, more than just a shadow through their unseeing. I'm a story unfolding, each chapter a fight. Legacy lingers in the verses I write. Judge my journey, but read between lines, the black of my skin, the least of my signs. Because I'm a man of depth, a soul of the night, wearing scars as medals in the darkness of light.
Hello, 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 Wings of Wisdom listening audience. We got the none other, back by popular demand, Miss Katrina Fitton. She is a certified master financial coach, and also she specializes in business funding. So we are in for a treat. And like I said last time, the host must be taking notes. So, Miss Katrina, I want you to introduce yourself to Virginia's virtual viewers. Once again, we're so happy that you are here. And I know you made major progress since the last time you were on my show. You were actually my first expert, and now you are my first sponsor. So I am so grateful to you and all the amazing things that you are doing, and glad to be leaning into your Zoom rooms. They are powerful. So just give a little backdrop of what you do and how your journey began.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much, Virginia. I'm telling you, it is my honor to be back once again on the Wings of Wisdom show. I tell you what, being the first guest was such an honor, and obviously, this is my third time on the broadcast. And I'm telling you, every time I am on the broadcast, not only do we are able to bring value to your audience, but it's just awesome your vision and how you are helping the experts, to be come to the platform and allow them to be able to share with those that are viewers, and it's a blessing. So I want to say thank you first of all. So my name is Katrina Fitton, known as the Funding Queen, and I am the CEO and owner of New Day for You Financial. I help women entrepreneurs to get the funding that they need to start their business, to grow their business, and to scale their business. And the other thing that I also do is I help business coaches, consultants, and those that are entrepreneur who has maybe high ticket programs and they need a funding expert to help their clients to be able to perhaps have the money to invest in their programs. I am partnering with those individuals as well. So this is what I do. New Day for New Financial, we're funding people's dreams. And so I'm super excited about that.
Wow, wow, wow. Wings of Wisdom listening audience, you must be taking notes if you are on this entrepreneur journey and you want to learn the concepts of how you need to shift your mindset around money. I was just in your Zoom room not too long ago. and you were sharing the wins, and everybody was sharing their wins. And I remember one powerful question you asked this specific individual when she was sharing her wins, and she was saying, how much she scaled and how much money she made. But you asked her, you said, did you pay yourself?
Exactly.
And I was shocked that all this progress, that this individual said, you know what? Not yet, but I will. And that's the mindset shift. So, how can you explain how the concept of a money mindset and why it's crucial for mastering one's finance?
Yes. Oh my God, Virginia, this is crucial to the survival of you in your business is your mindset. Some of the statistics, just to read off a few, is that per the Bureau of Labor of Statistics, more than half of businesses will fail in the next 5 years or less.
Wow.
Half, literally. And then 82% of businesses fail. And you know why they fail, Virginia?
Wow.
It's due to issues with cash flow. Okay. And literally, yes, cash flow. So, and also a staggering 90% of business owners agree that the availability of loans is a problem. And 51% of business owners, they worry weekly about capital and how they're going to be able to make it from week to week because cash flow is up and cash flow is down. And so to talk about the mindset of a business owner, and reason why I wanted to talk about those statistics, because those are real. And if you have not had self development around the way you think, you will not be able to survive as a business owner. I know that the TikToks and the YouTube, those clips and those shorts and those IG reels that are giving you those 90-minute snapshots, and I'm telling you, they're telling you how easy and how it looks so wonderful to be a business owner. They're showing their cars and how much they're making per month, and they're talking about all the things. But what they're not telling you, Virginia, is that the day to day is not that simple. And it takes a mindset of resilience to be in business because let me tell you why. It takes faith. And I always have a saying, and I say this: you don't have a money problem, you have a money mindset problem. And that is what we normally do. Before we give people funding, we always have a funding clarity call so that we can determine if you are a great candidate for funding. Because there's a lot of people out here on the internet talking about do this and do that about obtaining business credit and business loans and all of that. But what they're not telling you is that the people are not paying this money back.
Wow.
And they don't have revenue operating in their business. They are really dealing with cash flow being a deficit oftentimes. And so they have, maybe they can get the business credit card, but they have to be able to pay the money back.
Wow. Wings of wisdom, listening audience, Virginia's versatile viewers. I love to tell them that Wings of Wisdom is built on biblical principles. And when
Yes.
you say faith, it just inspired me to go to the biblical principles because I know the last time I interviewed you, you said that particular scripture in Proverbs 11:14, a multitude of counselors, that's where safety is. So that's why Wings of Wisdom was birthed because my mindset where I was and getting coach after coach, including our coach, Mr. Andy Henriquez,
Yes.
he pushed me into Wings of Wisdom with that Peloton when he was actually saying, are you warming up? Are you warming up? You got to execute. So that's the mindset. I was warming up because I had Wings of Wisdom with wheels on it, but I wasn't getting on to execute. It was just sitting there. But after I paid to be in that room and coach the experts, and there was so many experts there. There still is, and you were one of us. That's when I met you, and it seemed like the connection was instant. And you, after right after that, that was the end of October. November, you were on, and now it's 8 months later. Wings of Wisdom is 8 months years old, my dear, and that mindset shift is
Yeah.
actually the key. So, and Romans actually also 12 in the second chapter, it said, be not conformed to this world, but by the renewing of your mind, so that you
Mm,
know what's the good and acceptable and perfect
yes.
will of God. So the faith is the key. The faith is the key.
The
So
faith is the key. Yeah, because essentially what people don't realize is that you have to have faith to, number one, to start, right?
yeah,
And then number two, what people don't realize is that you have to have the faith to sustain as you are going through the what we call the vicissitudes, the ups and the downs of business, right? Where you are hiring a team member and maybe they may not perform the right way, and you have to pay that salary, right? And so it takes faith when maybe you had a month that maybe you didn't get in the amount of sales that you thought you were going to get, and you still have to pay your team. And so it still takes faith. And that's why having funding is so important, is because really, once you determine that you have a mission for your money, okay, then it takes faith to say, you know what, I'm going to use what they call OPM, and that is other people's money to help me to sustain during the cash flow deficit months so that I can literally operate in a cash flow abundance.
yes, yes. So how does your faith influence your approach to financial coaching and business strategies?
Oh my God, it's everything. Because think about it. First of all, you say, my people perish because of lack of knowledge, right? And so a lot of times people, they can have faith to start the business, but if they don't invest in the level in which they want results, sometimes in getting like a mentor, a coach, being a part of a mastermind or an association, if you're not learning about your craft and what being in the paying to be in the room where you hear all these nuggets and gems and the shortcut of how to get there. I always tell people, if you want to go faster, you got to hire a master. And so you want to invest into these rooms so that you can get in the room to hear how people are doing it, because they're giving you the shortcut. Where it may have taken me 5 years to do something, I'm giving you the shortcut so you can do it in 5 months. That's what you're getting when you pay to get in the room. And so that's what I've learned. My most greatest trajectory shift in my mind has come as a result of me investing in myself. And that is investing in a mentor, a coach, and an expert to be able to get to the level that I've been able to get to and grow my business.
Wow, 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 wow. I love that. If you want to go faster, invest in the master. They've mastered and paved the way. So now all you have to do is follow the blueprint. So I know you have, analysis and freebies, and you have all that for your team or people who want to come in and just say, I need a little more golden nuggets. So how can they actually get access to that? I have Katrina at newdayforyouFinancial.com.
Yes, yes. Just go to our website. We have what we call a 20-step business structure blueprint that we give out as a freebie, which gets you started. First of all, you that blue blueprint is really to help you to realize, is your business structured properly? Because what happens is that when we are in need of potential funding for our business, the number one thing we do, we go start filling out applications. And then what happens that we start getting denials, or we go into the bank and we're filling out application. We say we want a loan and we're filling out those applications. And guess what? We're getting denied, right? Let me tell you why they're getting denied. They're getting denied because they don't know the secret, right? There are literally 100, and I counted them, 129 factors of how businesses are getting denied funding. And we in our community, we help them to not fall prey of all of those denial factors by giving them the blueprint of how to do that. And literally, like I was here last time, I told you about how you have to do the fundability analysis. Well, now I have new funding banking institution partners now, and we're able to not only get you funding, Virginia, but literally, as a sponsor, you're able to fill out a simple application, which is just a few questions that I can get on a funding clarity call. And when I get on that call, and I'm just going to tell you, you can literally in the next 5 days get funding for your business. This is how easy it is, where we have products where you can get 0% interest lines of credit. Literally. I'm telling you, there are people who are eligible for that and they don't really know that. And so this is what we talk about on the clarity call is we get you funding for your business so that you can start your business so you no longer have to go into your personal bank account or you'll get money out of your personal 401k to start your business. Because why? There is money available if you are hooking up with the right experts to show you how to do it, how you can get approved on the first try. So, yes. Oh, well, somebody who is this? Jay say, I was the first. Okay.
They want to lean in, they leaning in. So tell me this, what are some misconceptions about business funding that you frequently encounter?
Yeah. So, one of the misconceptions that I frequently encounter is that people often think that they can just fill out an application and get approved just because they have a business. But I'm just going to talk about 5 things that people end up getting denied. And one of them is that number one, they do not have a business virtual address. They're going on the application and they're putting their home address. They registered their business with the Secretary of State and they put their home address there. First of all, it's not safe because guess what? That's public information, Virginia. People can look up your company and show up at your door,
Wow.
right? So you need to make sure, number one, with the Secretary of State that you have a business. If you are a home business, go and get you a virtual office address. Okay. Some of the examples where you can go to Alliance office. They have a virtual office address. Regis, there's another company that you can go to get your virtual office address. And you want to make sure that that address that they give you, that it is reported with the IRS with your EIN. Okay, make sure that they have that address. Make sure your Secretary of State has that address, and make sure your Dun and Bradstreet has that address. So if you haven't got your Dun and Bradstreet number, you most definitely need to get that Dun and Bradstreet number because that is the beginning stages of you getting a Dun and Bradstreet number and have it reporting to the Business Credit Bureau. And people don't even realize that they just look at their personal credit as to guarantee the loan. But what I do, I help people to establish their business credit where there is no personal guarantee. You can get the loan or the line of credit or the business credit card in your business name, and we don't even have to look at your personal credit. So for those who may have a little challenge in their personal credit, we can help you to still get business credit and lines of credit, and you have a 500 credit score. So that is the secret that I'm letting out the hat today, Virginia. If they
Wow.
apply with your special link, they will be able to see if they qualify for these special privileges.
Wow, wow, wow. Wings of Wisdom. The link is there. Are you getting these golden nuggets? Are you taking notes? Do you actually have a business virtual address? See, these are the nuggets that you can have when you're in the room, in the Zoom room. This woman has a Zoom room with all these golden nuggets monthly, complimentary. You just got to lean in, get in the room, get the knowledge. The experts has the knowledge. So if you want to go faster, you gotta connect with the master.
Can I give them two more?
Yes, yes, yes.
So another one is, do you have a business phone number? Some of you
Mm.
guys are putting your cell number on the applications. You need a 1-800 number, okay? You need to get you a business phone number, okay? That a company that you can get that from would be a Ring Central. You can use what's another one? I think there's several. Just Google it where you can get you a business phone number. You want to make sure it is a VIOP phone number, meaning that it has an answering service. It can leave a message, and it's a business professional address and phone number. And make sure when you get that address, make sure when you Google that address that a building shows up, not a Staples or a post office or a post office shipping place. You want to make sure that when you Google that address that they give you, that a building shows up. So that way it looks credible. You look like a credible business, right? And so that's what we do. The third thing I want to give you as a nugget, we have the address, business address. You want to have a business phone number. But the other thing is, can you get a business email? We don't want to be doing a Gmail or a Yahoo or a Outlook. You want a business address, meaning like my contact is contact at newdayforyoufinancial.com. You want it to be Katrina at newdayforyoufinancial.com, info at newdayforyoufinancial.com. And you can go over to GoDaddy, Microsoft. I mean, all of them have business addresses. And make sure you have a website. How are you going to be a credible business asking for funding and you don't have a website? You got to have a website, you guys. Get you a Dun and Bradstreet number. That's just 5 different things that when you're filling out the application, you're wondering why they deny you, is because those are the essential foundations. And we help you to structure your business properly so that you can get approved for funding for your business so that you can serve the people that you have been called to. And because they're waiting on you, don't let them wait no more. Let's go ahead and hire the master. We are the master, newdayforyoufinancial.com.
Okay, I have signed up. I'm signing up. I'm leaning in. I keep bringing the master back on, and I am ready to go. So, Virginia's virtual viewers, if this was empowering and insightful for you, I want you to share the broadcast. You have to share the broadcast because this is powerful information and it all starts with your mind. Once again, Wings of Wisdom is built on biblical principles and it's the renewing of your mind. If you want to master your money, you have to first master your mind. And Katrina Cooks Fenton is the expert for business funding. So if you are a newly entrepreneur, or if you're sitting on the edge of your seat and you are tired of the corporate arena, I walked away from the airline industry in 2020, and I say that was perfect vision for me. And 4 years later, I've been meeting the experts, coach after coach, including the legendary Les Brown, and also, like I said, our coach, Mr. Andy Enriquez, who is a prodigy of the legendary Les Brown. There's only a few that probably met Les Brown or superseded, and Andy Henriquez is in the race. So I was so glad that I was in the room, was in the hot seat, and met you, Katrina. And as they say, the rest is history. So if you can give Virginia's virtual viewers one more last golden nugget that I didn't really think to ask you, but you just want to seal the deal for them to connect with you because you can inspire them, encourage them, lead, guide, direct them so that they can be on the pathway to success. Can you share that with them?
Yes, don't have a poor mindset. What does poor mindset stands for? The acronym poor. Don't be passing over opportunities repeatedly because you don't have the cash flow when New Day for You Financial is here for you. No longer a poor mindset, having to pass over opportunities repeatedly no longer, but you have a mindset of cash flow abundance because you are executing what Wings of Wisdom is bringing you to with you today. God bless you. Follow
God
me.
bless
You can
you.
follow me at IG as well at Money Coach Katrina Fitton. I'm over on IG as well. If you could follow me, that would be great as well. Thank you.
Wow, wings of wisdom. Girls and boys, now is the time to share on your electronic toys. I am so grateful for you, Katrina. My audience is grateful. They are leaning in and they are saying this is educational and this is exactly what they need. So I am so grateful for you. So, Wings of Wisdom, listening audience, and Virginia's virtual viewers, just give Katrina some love and tell her, yes, we need you back because it is never going to end. As long as I'm doing Wings of Wisdom, I got to give you a little rest because I know you got some other podcasters that need you as well. But we're so grateful that you were able to lean in today. Thank you once again for coming to Wings of Wisdom on Wednesday to the world. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a wonderful Wednesday.
Hello, my name is Alethea Tucker, and I am the CEO of Jolie's Enterprises. I'm also the host of a show entitled Reinvent and Rise, and the host of a podcast entitled Leveling Up the Podcast with Alethea Tucker. I recently had the distinct pleasure of working with Tina Ramsey and CTR Media Network in one of her programs where she taught me how to get exposure for my podcast. She increased my visibility tremendously, and she showed me how to monetize both of my shows to make them revenue generating products. I am so ecstatic and so happy with the service that she and her staff provided to me. She went above and beyond what I expected, and I certainly got far more than I ever dreamed I would get with her. So I highly recommend her for any of her programs. I highly recommend her as someone to go to if you are looking to increase what you do with your podcast, make it better. If you're looking to get visibility, definitely speak with her. You will not go wrong with her or anyone on her staff.
Are you exhibiting signs that your mindset is broken?
What do I mean is your mindset broken? What is it that you're thinking? I'm talking limiting beliefs. I'm talking low self esteem. I'm talking imposter syndrome. Are any of those thoughts really clouding your mind so that you are unable to move forward? They're holding you back, keeping you at a place where you're stuck and you can't see your way forward. So, yeah, if any of those things sound familiar, if you feel any of those things, there's a very good chance that you're operating with a mindset that is not totally geared to do the things or to provide the foundation that you need to make progress in your life. So, yeah, we're talking about a broken mindset. And don't feel as though that is a major criticism. Many of us operate from a state of stuck. Many of us operate from a state of not really being able to get out of our heads what we really probably feel deep down, or get our heads to coincide with what we know deep down we need to do. Because you see, it's our heads that cloud our hearts many times. Deep down, we know that there's purpose in there. We know that there's something else that we really want to do. But those thoughts just keep compounding and beating up against what we feel, what we know ought to be changed, what needs to be different, what needs to move in the direction of purpose for us and out of that stuck place. So, we're going to talk about that just a little. You may still be saying, how is it that I know if I'm operating out of a place of a broken mindset? What might that look like for me? Well, I'm prepared to help you with that tonight with a presentation. And I'm moving quickly because I know that we still have just 15 minutes. And I am determined to make sure that I give you quality steps to help you to level up. And I promised on Thought for Thursdays, we would focus on 3 to 5 things to help you to elevate. And that's what we're going to do in, yes, 15 minutes. So there are a few signs, mindsets, and habits that have held you back. What might that look like for you? What's a sign that something isn't quite there? If you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're imagining, for example, that there is a maze there, and in the middle of that maze is the perfect place for you, that's where you desire to be. That's your sweet spot. And if you're lining up perfectly with that spot, chances are your mindset may be okay. You may not be doing so badly. But if you're somewhere on the perimeters of this thing, you're out here trying to find your way to the middle still, there's a very good chance that you haven't quite hit that sweet spot. And signs that there are some broken thought patterns or some broken beliefs that are holding you back are things like this. Sign number one, following the leader. Now, I know you've often heard that you want to be a leader in life, right? You want people to follow you. But there are times when following the leader isn't always the healthiest of things to do. For example, you're holding on to someone else's dream because you're not certain of your own. This person has been successful in what they're doing, and you figure, well, I'm just going to go ahead and latch on to their dream. It works for them. I'm sure it'll work for me. That's a broken mindset because your purpose doesn't match someone else's. It doesn't pair it perfectly so that you could duplicate. Your purpose is unique, it is your own. You may do similar things, but the way in which that is carried out is what makes yours so different from someone else's. You know that there's a calling for you, but you're not sure exactly what that calling is. Yeah, that is definitely a sign that there is a mindset in there that isn't quite exactly where it needs to be. Or you feel that the dream is just not worth you pursuing it. Definitely a sign that there is a broken mindset and something that needs to be addressed. Sign number two, to pursue or not to pursue.
So, not really being able to identify your purpose yet isn't a sign that your mindset is broken. That means you may need to do some work to get to exactly what that purpose looks like for you. However, what does seem to kind of fall in alignment with this particular sign is people don't often have their purpose determined. What else happens in this particular sign of that to pursue or not to pursue? They dread going to work. They lack the motivation. They're not sure which direction they want to move in. So they really kind of are stuck. They don't know if really they want to pursue better or just stay where they are. That's a broken mindset as well. That is that perpetual stuck place where you don't know whether to go or to come, whether to sit or to stand. And that will keep you locked in if you don't do the work that is needed to get to that purpose, to get you motivated, all right, to go ahead and want to get up and do things. That there is another sign of something broken, not quite being where it should be. Another sign, you hide your light. Many people do this. They call it, I don't like to be in the limelight. I just want to stay in the background and get the work done. In many instances, that's a great thing for you if you are just a worker bee. But then there are times when you definitely need to come forward because staying behind is holding you from really reaching your full potential, reaching your full leadership potential. That is definitely a sign of a broken mindset that you don't need to be pushed forward, that you just need to continue to do the work and not have any recognition for it, or not be pushed ahead, or not being recognized, not feeling as though what you're doing is actually helping to progress you. You're always working behind the scenes. We see this a lot with volunteers and community work. And let's face it, there are jobs where you have to work behind the scenes, right? You're not really supposed to be out front. You're trying to magnify the mission of the organization. But as I mentioned, that is not always the situation. And if you find yourself feeling as though you always have to be in the back, you don't want to promote what you're doing, you want other people to take credit for you, that is a sign of your mindset being broken, and that needs to be repaired. Fourth, fear and insecurity. That's a huge one. And let's face it, we've all hit it at some point for whatever reason. Could be things that happened long ago, things that are happening right now, things that were instilled in us when we were children. Anything. This happens, you see these people are the ones again who are likely to sit quietly in the back, avoiding the opportunities for success. The opportunities are out there, but the fear is so great they don't even want to pursue them. They suffer from imposter syndrome. They know a lot of the information. They have the talent, they have the skill set, but somewhere along the line believe that they're still not qualified, or believe that they really don't represent, or that they really are the job that they can do, or the title that they have. Many of us deal with imposter syndrome, and it can really be a tremendous stronghold, something that definitely has to be broken up so that we can do the things and believe in who we are and the value that we bring. Again, this person's always working behind the scene, and they kind of make a point of never showing signs that they'll come up front. They're fearful and they're insecure, and that fear is what's holding them back from even considering pulling forward. And the fifth sign here, you put everyone else's agenda in front of your own. My time will come. Someone else can hijack your agenda at any given point. You can walk in fully determined to fulfill certain requirements for the day, and immediately someone else's emergency becomes your emergency and totally derails you, and you're okay with that. That may happen every now and again. However, it does not need to be the norm in your life. If that is the norm, yeah, there's a very good chance that that is another sign that there's some mindset work that needs to be done. We can be so vulnerable. We can be tremendously vulnerable. Focus on what and how you need to pull yourself from that spot so that you can do the work that needs to be done. So you may be saying, okay, yeah, all of these things, I know I definitely sound like one of them, maybe two. I may even be a mixture of some of them. Well, it's time to switch gears, guys. The first step that you want to take is address the root of those negative beliefs and habits that you have running around in your head, the things that are kind of clouding the purpose, the things that are the strongholds, the things that have your mindset in a state where it needs to be repaired and removed and pushed out of the clouds, right? So that's the first step. Admit that something needs to change, and the change has to start with you. First thing is that every negative thing that comes into your mind about what you can do, what you're capable of, who you are, what you bring to the world, the imprint that you have, challenge that. And I've talked about this before. Next time you catch yourself berating yourself with negative self-talk, make it a point to stop yourself and ask, is this really true? Now, the first thing that you may say immediately is, yes, it is. However, what I want you to do when you ask, is this really true, is to search back through a time when the opposite has happened, when you haven't failed at a project and you've been very successful, when you have been successful in achieving a personal goal, when you were able to perhaps lose weight at some point, and now you feel as though you'll never be able to lose it again, when you were eating properly. Whatever it is, combat that negative statement with the positive proof that you have successfully accomplished something. So recognize it, then look at the statement and figure out what it is that you know without a shadow of a doubt can negate that negative, that can totally get away or throw away that negative thought that is trying to totally infiltrate your mind and infiltrate and destroy your life, hold you back. What else? Think of where it came from. Frequently, we can really conquer those broken mindsets if we just go back to where they came from. In many instances, we'll discover that the broken mindset came from broken people who knew no better, who didn't want themselves to pursue better, and certainly didn't know how to feed into you to make you pursue better or give you the incentive to pursue more. People who may have spoken negative over your life, saying that you will never be able to accomplish something, or, we've done this for generations and nobody has made any progress. Think back to where you may have gotten those things and then test to see if these people are really valid in labeling whatever it is that they gave to you. Are they valid to say you won't be successful? Are they valid? Do they have the credentials necessary to determine what it is that you can and can't do? Think about that. Think about that. And then let that help you to negate what you're thinking as well. What's something else you can do? What is it that you can change? All right. How if you didn't believe this? Visualize what could possibly happen if you did not have this limiting thought, if you did not have imposter syndrome, if you didn't have self-doubt and confidence issues, if you had the courage to pursue your purpose, what could happen? And let the possibilities negate anything that is saying it won't happen and it won't come. You have no chance of it coming to pass. Hold on to that hope of what can be. All right. So another way in which you can negate the broken mindset Something you want to do as well. You may say, well, I can't remember the successful things I've done. You're saying go ahead and combat those things, the negative things, with successful things. Start a journal. Go back and start documenting. It can be in the form of a gratefulness journal. All right. I am grateful for being able to do this, to do that, to do this. And you will see some of the things that you have accomplished in life. And when you really, really get stuck, go back to that journal and say, okay, well, this thing right here that I accomplished totally negates that negative thought that I am always going to be the person who sits in the back and I'll never come up front because my ideas are of no value. Well, back 2 years ago, I came up with an idea that was able to actually get a huge plan implemented. I was able to change lives. I changed my life. I changed my condition. I got a bigger salary. Whatever it is, hold on to those things. The mind is a very sensitive place, and it really is a sponge, and you can kind of shape and form it, all right? But you gotta be able to put the right things in it. And consistent negativity is not the right thing. It will keep you in that state of what? Mediocrity, and not in the state where you can pursue things and live a life in which you thrive, which is where we want to be. Speak boldly to yourself. Tell yourself affirmations. I often hold on to the Psalms as my promises of what God has promised me in my life. Those are my affirmations. Maybe you need to get a hold of some of those and tell yourself those things so that your head will start to believe it, and that will align with your heart, knowing deep down who it is that you are. Smile when you tell yourself those things. Convince yourself, convince that head that is trying to tell you opposite. All right? So, until you identify those negative or faulty thoughts and determine where they come from and if they're valid, and replace them with new, more realistic beliefs, you will stick and stay with a broken mindset that is going to hold you back and never allow you to progress. Recognize the signs that you are operating from a broken place, from a broken mindset, and then do the things that are necessary to change that so that you can move forward and not be in a continuous state of stuckness. All right? So that's it. That's what I wanted to tell you tonight. I want you to hold on to operating in a healthy mindset, one of prosperity, one of hope, one of a future, a mindset of growth, and not one of less, but one of more. Do whatever is necessary so that you can get healthy in that area. And then also work on getting healthy in the other areas, such as personal development or whatever it is that you need to do in order to move into that job, that position, that whatever it is, that business that you desire to move into. All right, that's it. Remember, we're now a part of the podcast. You'll be able to hear these on your favorite podcast streaming platform. I will definitely go and load this up on YouTube as well. You guys go and have a magnificent weekend. Make sure that you get in the rest and the relaxation that you need. Continue to be courageously yourself. Remember that. Remember, your uniqueness is needed. Your imprint is needed. Touch something and make a difference for you and for those around you. You guys have a great evening, and I'll see you again right here next week. Bye-bye.
Hey Think Fam, it's your favorite host, Michael Finkley, and you can listen to us on CTR Media Network. Go listen in. Hello everybody, it's Michael Finkley with Michael Finkley Show.
And I'm Nicole with Conversations with Nicole. You can join me Wednesdays at 9 a.m. on all of my streaming platforms.
Well, Nikki, don't forget about the Michael Finkley Show, Mondays, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the CTR Media Network.
Join us.
It's alright.
Hey family, it's gospel artist Marcus Jordan, and you're watching the Michael Finkley Show.
Everything, it will be okay.
On the next Michael Finkley, we are live in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina at the Red Rose Legacy Theater. We interview Greg, of course, his amazing singers, and the band behind us. It's a show you don't want to miss. Next Michael Finkley.
There's a new familiar face this time. Say hello to the new daytime. See it everywhere you go. Doing the greatest show. It's no other than the Michael Finkley Show. There is no other. He's like no other. I'm so glad that someone resonates with me.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. Y'all, I am super excited to be on location right here in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And usually I'm not nervous in giving interviews, but this special guest beside me, I've been watching since I was very small on the news and on different things he performed at, different commercials, local commercials in the area. So this is literally a dream come true thing, fam. And he's going to talk about his amazing legacy theater that we're sitting in right behind us. He is none other than a good friend now. Yes. He is Greg Cross.
Thanks for coming back.
Oh, yes.
Which is a seal of approval because Michael saw the show already. So if he came back, we must be doing something right.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know,
definitely are.
Let me tell you before we get started, because we were talking off camera, because everybody's got a story, and you've got a great story too. And after I heard some part of your story, I felt like I should be interviewing you today. But nonetheless, we're very proud that you and Curtis took time to come out and see us today.
Yes, sir.
And if Brandy were here, she'd go, "What are you doing?" Brandy is always the first one if I'm taking pictures. I forget because most of the time these are here or they're here. I'm going, where are my glasses? So she took those off. So I'll put those away now. All right. Fire away,
Oh
Michael.
my gosh. Oh my gosh. Whoa. So many thoughts. But thank you so much for allowing us to be here. Like I said, I came during VIP night and I tell you, it blew me away. It literally did. I was talking with someone earlier and I said, they should do a segment where they do sitcom musicals and all that kind of good stuff. And a few minutes later, you did.
Great minds think alike.
Oh my gosh, what's next? So I look at the theater behind me. I look at all the chairs. I look at the stage. Biggest dream come true. How does it feel living in your dream?
It's I will tell you, it wasn't real for me and Brandy because everything I do, she does. We're team. Until the marquee, when Brad, our partner in LaDonna, put the marquee up on the outside of the building, I went, and this was last fall. I went, oh gosh, this is going to happen, right? But it was slowly came to be, and then when they started putting the seats in and the curtain went in and the lights and the sound, I started thinking, oh yeah, we got to do a show. But we've been working on this for a while. But the thing about the show that makes it so unique is it's 100% live. It's 100% live, and we take pride in that. And when you see the vocals up there and all the musicians, there's no added tracks, there's no sweeteners, there's none of that. So we can now we have the liberty of changing songs every night. We have the liberty if something's not working, we take that out and try something else. So it's completely live theater, but it's giving us it's allowing us all to work our creative juices like we've never done before. And folks think this is just my show. This is not my show. Everybody that's up on that stage has had including our sound, lighting, and video. It's all been a collaborative effort to put things in the show, and so we all take ownership in it. And it's just been a ball. So what you saw the other night is just that, and that TV medley that you're talking about. Chris Cox, so I know you're going to see her later. You got to ask her because she is brilliant. She wrote that entire thing. yeah, and Kenny, of course, Kenny Duncan, our music director, put it together musically. But she put all that, and there's so many things that didn't make the cut. We could do a 30-minute.
Exactly, that could be the show.
Yeah, it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah. It shows you're living in your passion. You've been singing for a while. When did you find your voice?
I'm glad you asked that. It all started back on way back.
I'm 58. People keep. You don't look it. Thanks. God bless you. People keep saying, "Well, when do you retire?" And I truly believe, as long as we're here, keep aspiring. This is something I've always wanted to do. I've got breath in my lungs. I want to do it. So I started playing professionally when I was 13, but I didn't start singing until I was 15. And mom and dad, I grew up playing with them. So they were nurturers. They were singing. I watched them sing all my life, but that's when I started singing. And I never took any vocal lessons. I never took any music lessons. I did this by ear. And I would sit like a lot of kids with a hairbrush and my guitar in front of the mirror and pretend I was whoever and sing in front of the mirror. And
I still would have 35.
how about that, right? And then to this day, I grab a guitar at home at the kitchen table. I grab a guitar in the dressing room. I just love music. So if I wasn't playing here, I'd be at your house playing for your mom, right? I'd be over there just strumming and going, right? I'd be, come on, let's do it. I love it. I love doing it. I love performing.
Oh my gosh! Again, and it shows again by your shows. So, what does that preparation look like? How often do you rehearse? Like, what does that look like? Because you put on a great show.
Thank you. So the rehearsal is almost. In fact, they're going to fire up a rehearsal here shortly with a band, because we're doing different shows, because we're doing different sections, because we're always polishing, which means we're always rehearsing. So we rehearse quite a bit during the week. But the great thing about this too is, like everybody else, we call it woodshedding. You go to the house, take it out in the woodshed, get it all polished up before you bring it in here. So everybody works at home. We bring it in here. We work as a group, and then we continue to hone that, and then we try that a few times in rehearsals, and then we put it on the stage for the audience. So yeah, the rehearsal process is quite lengthy. And now that we're in approaching summer months and season, we start writing. We have our first Christmas powwow day after tomorrow to start writing the Christmas show, because let's think about it. I mean, Christmas is
right around the corner.
Yeah, and Christmas in July on Hallmark. And we're like, come on, we're 2 months away from that.
There you go.
Right, exactly.
There you go.
So it's an ongoing process.
Gotcha.
Yeah, polishing.
Gotcha. What I love about you though is I see the God in you first. Your spirituality, I know, is very important to you.
Yeah.
How does that play within what you do now for the people?
Well, I say this humbly, that God has, he's entrusted us with this, but I truly feel like he's the one that made all this happen. This was an answer to a prayer. And I think he's truly watching to see how we're taking care of his property, right? And what are we doing with it? So our prayer has been that we know that we're here to sustain. We're here to, hopefully make some money along the way. Obviously, going to entertain a whole lot of people. But what else is he going to use for this, for his good? And we have already seen, we've got people reaching out to use the building for other purposes. We sing his word in our show, and he has showered favor and rained blessings on this place. So I don't believe he brought us this far, Michael, to see us fail, to see it. He's brought us this far because he's got something even greater in store. I truly believe that. And so we just want to make sure that, and again, we say we're just good stewards of the property and what we're doing. Exactly. But we're human and we screw these things up. So, right?
But that's when grace and mercy falls in.
Amen on that.
It just lifts us back on up.
Amen. Thank you.
So how often can we watch this show? Is it daily? What does this look like?
Yes.
What does the schedule look like?
So the schedule is Monday through Saturday. We're here Monday through Saturdays. Now we have a guest artist concert series that happens on Sundays. Now our first one is kicking off with Lone Star, and that will continue through the summer. I forgot how many dates we've got, Michael, but it's somewhere like a couple dozen dates. And then those will be on Sundays. So you can see it. You call 843-663-3600. Yeah, there you go. I've memorized that one. Call the ticket line and check it. The best way to do it is get on the website at GregRollsLegacyTheater.com, or get on your iOS, your Apple device, or your Android, and download the app.
Get the app. Get the app.
So you do have
I
the app.
have the app.
The app is
Yeah.
really cool. And John Finley, who I know that you know and love,
Mhm.
he helped create this app, and it really is user friendly. And it gives you all the dates of the shows, and it tells you about all the things we have at concessions. It gives you bios on all the cast and the crew. It's a lot of fun. But so I made a short answer long. Monday through Saturday.
Monday through Saturday. Gotcha. So I have to ask, in all that you do, we accomplished this thus far in life. What is your next biggest dream?
I want an RV. I don't travel. I'm hoping that someday, whenever it's time to hang up boots or whatever and put the guitar aside for full time, I get a chance to. Brandy and I love road trips, even if it's going to Buc-ee's in Florence, right?
Oh,
that's
wow,
big.
listen,
That's big time stuff for us,
there
right?
You go. There you go.
So at some point, I want to travel, but having performed on so many stages, performed for the Pope at the Vatican, performed with the Grand Ole Opry, all those times. And that may sound like it's bragging a little bit or name dropping, but I'm so proud of those things. It's Star Search. Nobody can take those away from me, as my dad used to say. But he said, now raise up the next round. So there's going to be some opportunities for some talent in this area and beyond that are wanting to sing on a larger stage.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to be rolling out some of those, that plan here shortly, just giving somebody else, an underdog like me, a chance to sing on a larger stage with a live band and start honing some of their crafts, because you can't really do that until you got to make a lot of, listen, and because it's a live show, we make mistakes to this day every single day, but you want to give some of these younger people that same chance to do that.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, my word.
Well, it's the same thing you're doing, Michael, with people that you have on your show.
Yeah.
You're giving them a chance for their voice to be heard, that may not had a chance to do that, promote whatever they're promoting, in my case, the theater here.
Yeah.
So you're giving people the same opportunity. So thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. You're welcome. And as long as I have breath in my body, I have to do it.
Amen.
I have to do it.
That's right.
How do you manage your time? Because you do so much.
That is a gold question. Yeah.
You do so much outside of this, into this family. Like, how does that handle? Yeah.
I would be lying if I said it wasn't a challenge. But God first, family second, this comes third. All the other stuff, right?
Yeah.
Over the years, I think it was busier than it is now. But because now we're part owner of the theater, obviously there are a lot of other responsibilities that come into play. Thank goodness I've got a partner that is a lot smarter than I am, running this place and running the business aspect of it. Brad is amazing, and as is LaDonna. Brandy keeps me grounded, my bride of 31 years, and she's here all the time as well. But it is a juggling process, and there's not a lot of downtime. There's not a lot of downtime, but the good news is that we're doing stuff that we love to do. The television shows, love. I just enjoy that. Production, going out and shoot commercials, those kind of things. Love doing that because I'm meeting people, right? Expanding territories. The stage is my first love. Live entertainment is my first love. So if I were working the same hours and doing something I hated to do, you and I'd be having a different conversation. But I would encourage people to do this. And my grandfather said this. I know a lot of people said this along the way. Do something you love to do, and you'll never work a day in your life. And at 19, I didn't really know what that meant. I said, Papa, what does that mean? He said, just do what you love to do. And now for 43 years, I've been able to do this for a living. 45 years, I do this for a living, and God continues to bless it. So the older I get, the more appreciative I am of having an opportunity. Gotcha. I mean, I don't know if you can hear the laughter in the background.
The joy of it all.
One of the greatest things for me is hearing all the laughter from all the people around.
Right.
We like creating a positive atmosphere.
Yeah.
With everybody here, I think that everybody's yoked together here, and I'm talking about even the folks in the box office, the concessionaire, all of our ambassadors, everybody. We want to make sure that we're taking care of. Nothing against our patrons, because we want them to have fun, of course. But our first priority are our family, our legacy family. We take care of them. We take care of them. The customers will be taken care of course. Our patrons will be taken care of. We want to create a great atmosphere here. Yeah. And so we feel like we've done that, but that's a work in progress every day.
I felt it as I walked through the doors, even the first time, even today. The love, the encouragement, the caring. Even talking with some of the people that are on staff here, everyone's so friendly.
Yeah.
So well done.
Thanks.
Kudos to you.
Thanks.
Are you proud of yourself?
That really is a tough question. Yeah, I'm proud of my accomplishments. I feel like I'm humble about all that stuff. Of course, again, as you get older, you realize you're not all that a box of chips, right?
That part.
Because there's always someone ready to come along, do it different, maybe thinking they're better. I've never said I was a great singer. I was certainly not a virtuoso on any of my instruments that I play. I love playing, but I've told people, I said, I'll out-heart you. I'll out-heart you. I put my heart in everything that I do, and I love people. So yeah, for that, I think I'm proud of. Thanks for asking. I don't think anybody's ever asked me that, Michael, if I'm proud of myself. But yeah, I'm proud of myself, and I think you have to love yourself first before you love others. Yeah. Man, it's like one of these melancholy moments. I feel like
Michael made me cry. Definitely words to live by this dude over here. I love him to death. One more time, to the Think Fam. How can we purchase our tickets?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I love it that you call it the Think Fam. That's really cool. I love that. So 843-663-3600 is, and which camera am I on, Curtis? Is this mine? I feel like I should be making a campaign. Call 843. Talk to us like a government master. Call 843-663-3600. Now, Greg Rolls and the whole crew over at the Lakers, they're going to take good care of you. All you got to do is call that ticket line or get on the interwebs. Get on the interwebs at the Greg Rolls Legacy Theater. That's R-E, not E-R. R-E meaning live theater. These boys and girls up there, something else to see. And you can see them live 6 nights a week, Monday through Saturday. I think that's what he said, the young man said. And listen, they got really fandangled on this. They got an app too. The app is Greg Rolls Legacy Theater app. You can check that on the iOS. They call that the Apple. And then you can also do that on the Android. Then don't be an Android hater if you got an Apple, because we get them for both. And you can check out the whole schedule there. That's how Henry McMaster would have done it, just like that.
If you didn't know Think Fam,
if I'm making Curtis laugh, I got something going on. Curtis, pay attention to what camera I'm on.
He's also a comedian, if you didn't know, among other things, because you make us laugh throughout the show too. So you have to come out and see this amazing show. Thank you for being with us.
Yeah, Continue blessings for you. Continue blessings.
Hey, my name's Greg McBride. I'm a writer and movie producer, and you are watching The Michael Finkley Show.
On the next Michael Finkley, gospel legend himself, Great Jones, stops by. Plus, gospel newcomer Malcolm Christopher II. Thursday.
Hello, everybody. It's Finkley from the Finkley Experience. We're an educational consulting firm that specializes in first-generation education. So we assist students with their college and career endeavors. We train school administrators on the state of first-generation students. And also, we partner with colleges and universities to assist their first-generation population for easy transition from high school to college. So if you're looking for a presenter or speaker that presents on these topics and so much more, visit our website at thefinkleyexperience.com and learn about all that we do. We're looking forward to working with you.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. We're still on location right here in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where we're in this amazing Legacy Theater, of course, Greg Rolls Legacy Theater right here in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And behind every great singer, you have to have a band to back you up. You need some type of music, and I'm so excited to introduce you to the band behind the voices. Oh my gosh, so we're going to go down the line. They're going to introduce themselves one by one and tell you what they play.
Well, my name is Kenny Duncan. I'm a string guy. I play electric, acoustics, a little mandolin, and some banjo right now on the show.
And my name is Mark Perry, and I am a utility player. Primarily play reeds, saxophone, flute, clarinet, but I also play guitar and some other brass instruments during the show.
Very simple. Bill Hine, drums.
Oh, my name is Jerry Lane, and I'm the piano player.
My name is George Hyde. I'm the bass player.
All righty, all righty. And I tell you, I was here again on the VIP, one of the VIP nights, and you all blew it away.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm that type of person where I want to throw shoes because you do so well, but I don't want to hurt anybody. You all just like, it was an awesome experience. So do you want that to happen every time people hear you perform?
Preferably not shoes being
Not the
thrown or
shoes
things,
part,
but
Yeah, unless they're the right size. I mean, if it's new shoes of the right size,
We'll take that.
we'll take those.
I think for the most part, it does happen every time we perform. I've said this to many patrons that have come and said, "Man, you guys look like you're having such a great time." Regardless of my day or how tested I may have been, when we come, we have such a good time, and we think so much of each other after the performance here. I always leave feeling good every single night, and I think that's a game changer for me.
it's amazing. And there's been a couple times during both the rehearsal process and as soon as we opened up that there have been some days we either have a day off or have to come in for something, and one of us on occasion would turn to each other like, I actually missed playing with you guys. And
Yeah.
and it may sound like such a small thing to say, but a lot of us have been in experiences where work is work, and this is really we all really look forward to coming in.
Gotcha. So it's a little bit more than that. I love that. I love that. It brings, I feel that you work together better that way as well. You're more in tune with one another in that sense. So how did this opportunity come for each of you? We're going to start down there.
Basically, I kind of don't want to answer everybody, but basically, Greg handpicked all of us.
Whoa.
Yeah, basically. So, yeah. So we've all played together in different settings. Not different variations of the same group. We've all played together at some point.
Gotcha. Yeah, I did a few shows with Greg at the Alabama Theater when he did his solo shows, along with Bill and George and Kenny. And like George said, I guess he just handpicked. He gave me a call, and I was more than welcome to come and do it, man, because this is just a great show.
Yeah, that was kind of the thing with me. Greg had approached me and told me about the project, and the first thing I asked him was, "Well, who's on board?" I didn't really know about who the singers were going to be, but I wanted to know who the band was going to be. And I had played with Kenny and George and Jerry, like Jerry was saying, on his solo project, on Greg's solo project. So I'm like, and Mark was the different guy, but he did the horns, and I had seen him once in the Alabama. I'm like, okay, and that was it for me. When he said, "Would you be in?" I was like, yeah, this is good to go. So.
Yeah, for me, it was a little different than some of the other guys. I had an opportunity to play with Greg. When I first came down here, I started working at the Alabama Theater, and Greg was there at the time. So I got a few years in with him there, and obviously his professionalism and performance ability was something that stood out to all of us. He's just such an incredible entertainer and personal entertainer. And this opportunity came around. He was looking for a utility player, my position. And he knew that I was at another job, and he was just kind of asking me, like, "Look, we're trying to find someone that's like you, and can you help try to find that position?" And he literally said, "We need to find another Mark Perry." I'm like, "Hey, yeah, I'll look around." And it took some time for me to kind of have that light switch flick and be like, "Why can't it be me?" So we were just chatting, and the opportunity presented itself, and I couldn't say no to this opportunity. Yeah.
What's your story?
Well, for me, I've worked with all these guys before, Mark and George at Alabama, and Jerry and I actually have a history. We performed together back in North Carolina in a band, and some of the shows that Greg did at the Alabama Theater, Bill was on board, and and then some of the projects that even back earlier, I'd go with Greg to rest homes and just play. And man, talk about a good feeling going doing that. You know, just try to entertain the older folks that were kind of shut in there. And some of the projects that we done, George and I and Greg would sit in his dressing room back in the Alabama days and just work on stuff. You know, a tremendous amount of time, and we just developed a bond there. But the one thing that after Greg left the Alabama Theater, the three of us, Mark and George and I, were still there. I was walking to the car one night and my phone rang, and it was Greg. And as he always does, he said, "Hey man, just want to call and tell you I love you, but I wanted to tell you something else too." He said, "It's always been a dream of mine to have my own theater." And he said, "I'm going to be working diligently toward that. And I just want you to know when that day comes, you will be my music director." And I was like, okay, you know, and then in like a blink of an eye, it happened.
Here we are.
And here we are.
Here we are.
And this group of guys, man, there's such great people, and the hidden talents that they have is amazing. Some that you may not ever see because a lot of them are too modest. Then they, George, and they won't let go. But you know, Mark has really got to do some things here that he wasn't quite capable in the setting that we were in before to do, and it's really a joy for me to watch him and just all these guys. It's just a unique bond. It just like George said, Greg kind of handpicked everyone on his own without asking anybody else anything about it, and said, "This is who I've got. Let's do it." And it's been quite magical, to be honest with you. It's really been magical. So I'm just tickled to death, as a Southerner would say.
And we say it quite often. We do. Amazing. So I have to ask, what type of positive responses have you received since opening? And like I said, you guys bring down a house like no other. Like you literally do. I really enjoyed myself when I was here. What type of positive responses have you heard from the audience?
Well, for me, well, I guess we can go back this way. One of the things that I like most that people say is you look like you're having fun, because we are. We're just having a blast.
It shows.
One of my big things is my professional background is everything from cruise lines to things like the Alabama, the big production shows, which are great for what they do. But one of the things I personally started to miss was that intimate one-on-one, really connect with your audience sort of music.
Yeah.
And that comment we get from a lot of people is, we feel like we're all together in someone's living room, just playing music together, being around each other. And it's that sort of, we just want you to feel comfortable, have a good time. And that's the response we've been getting.
Love it.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a unique thing for me because I've never been in a theater kind of experience. I've always been in bands and stuff like that. So this is a bit new. And so when Greg's like, okay, after the show, we're going to come out and meet and greet. That was a little bit weird for me because I'm just like, I'm done with the gig. I go home. And so now we're coming out and we're meeting people. But I got to tell you, you know, and you'll get people online that say positive things, and you'll get maybe people that want to throw in something nasty or something, but that's just part of the game. But all I know is when I meet people after the show and they come up to the stage, there's a love there that I'm like, man, and they're like, you know, we love the band, we love the show, gosh, we're going to be back and back and back. And so regardless of what people say on social media, I want to, that's to me is all I care about. You know what I mean? And so it's just a nice thing, you know.
Gotcha.
I was really on board with this project when I found out there was no backing tracks.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was a huge thing that I was just very interested in. And not to put down any other theaters around town, because man, everybody's got their own niche of how they do their shows. But we really like make it, as they were saying, like it's real. It's raw, it's real. What you're hearing from that stage is not created by any computers. it's all fingers and Mark the
good or clams.
Fingers with the stakes. Yeah, but it was just, it was different. It was just a different project, and it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of talent. It takes a lot of dedication to really dig into a song. Because a lot of the songs that we learned, it might have 20 instruments in the studio when they record the songs, and we're trying to copy that as close as we can. With a 5-piece band, 6-piece when Greg's playing steel guitar with us or acoustic, but that's just, I catch myself all the time. I tell them, I'm like, there'll be sometimes I just get lost in the music. I'll look across the stage because on stage it sounds so good. I would love to be able to come out in the seat and listen to us on stage, but yeah, the no tracks thing, that was a big plus for me.
Gotcha. It's been a lot of fun. Like most of the response has been positive, so it's fun, very rewarding. You feel this theater is a nice size theater. It doesn't feel like a cave. It feels intimate enough. It's great.
We've gotten a lot of that response. I think I've seen that where people feel almost like it's like a living room experience with us, and I like that. And that's a nice thing to have, where it's an intimacy.
Gotcha. And you're definitely right, because like I said, when I was here, I feel like you all were playing for me and singing to me.
Yeah.
That's the warmth, right, of it all for me. So again, Think Fam, you definitely have to come out to this amazing theater right here in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and hear this amazing band. Come on, support. We can catch you every night.
6 days a week,
Monday through Saturday. Yeah.
All right, 6 days a week. Here it is. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Oh, down here. Yes. Don't go away back in a moment.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl Mila, lead singer of 702, and you are watching the Michael Finkley Show. Where my girls at?
Hey, don't you violate me.
Hi guys, welcome to Awaken. We wanted to serve the city of Mullins. We are church owned, and we felt like a coffee shop was such a huge need in the city of Mullins. There's nowhere for people to just come, get a cup of coffee, sit with friends, maybe do some work on the laptop. And so we feel like it was a service that we could give back to the city. Well, our hope is that people will feel calm, that they'll feel welcome, that it'll be a place where they can come and just clear their mind.
We come here twice a day. That's how good their smoothies, their coffee, their lattes, frappes, delicious. I would love the atmosphere here. If I had time to come and just sit and relax, I would. It's awesome.
One thing that I really love about being here is just the cozy environment. It's so inviting. I can come in here and I can get my schoolwork done, a good coffee and a good meal. But I'm just really thankful that they're here and that I have a good place to go.
We're open Tuesday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. and Saturday from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Awaken Coffee Bar, downtown Mullins.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. Again, I'm so excited to be a part of this amazing on location right here in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, to be a part of this amazing, awesome team and interviewing them at the Greg Rose Legacy Theater right here. And again, you met Greg, right? You met the band, and now the singers that perform with them. Y'all are amazing. Y'all are truly amazing. Introduce yourself to the Think Fam.
Introduce yourself. And which camera we're doing this with? Either one?
Right here.
Okay, I'm Christine Cox, and I'm a singer in the show.
And I'm Jason Cox. This is my lovely wife.
They're married.
My way better half. And I've been here for quite a long time in this town.
In this town.
In this town. Not this
I've
theater.
been in
This
this
is brand
theater
new.
for 18 years. Just
Yes.
kidding. We just opened.
And I'm Cindy Wheeler, another vocalist in the show, and I'm not married to either one of you.
Oh,
What's
we
such
share
a
dressing
great
room. We spend a lot of time together.
Big fam, I gotta say, every person, either they're a singer, they're on the band, and all of them are comedians.
Yes.
You
We
all
think
are.
we are.
We think we are.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have to be because we spend a lot of time together. So
Yeah.
it helps to have a sense of humor about things.
Yes, exactly.
I love it. I love it. So how did this all start for you? I want to hear from each one of you as into singing and being here in this theater.
Yeah, right.
I
How
guess-
much time do you have?
Yeah, we got enough time.
I guess it was it start back from most theaters have like an audition situation, or they have like a submission system. We were invited by Greg, so it just from us having worked with him for so long and him kind of assembling together the team that he thought would be the best fit for this show. So that process started first with Cindy when they got to know each other through Opryland, as we said in Nashville.
Back in the day in Nashville.
Yeah, and then
long time ago.
we all worked together. I mean, all four of us for a good chunk of time were all together. I guess that would have been, well, I left for a few years. So you were there for 8.
Yes.
He was there for 19. I was there for 15 at another theater in town. So we all shared the stage again there. But also in our careers had times where we weren't in a production cast, where we were doing either our own show on a ship, or we were gigging around town, or we were singing with other bands or doing other things. So we all kind of have a varied history of not just doing this type of thing, but doing just about everything in the music business to kind of, add layers and layers to what we bring to the
Yeah, when it all started, basically, I mean, we worked on ships together. That's where we started. That's where we met. We eventually got married, and you worked on cruise ships as well.
Yeah, and recently.
Recently.
Started doing my own show on ships.
Yeah.
Right before this.
So, like you said, it just did all that experience accumulated to coming here with Greg. So it's been wonderful. It's been wonderful.
I must say, when I saw the show, I went to one of the VIP shows, and I was literally right there. And what an experience, right? You all don't sing, you sang.
Thank you.
That part.
Thank you.
Listen,
Yeah.
at one point, I'm like, where's the mic so I can get on stage with these people? I can hold a note sometimes.
We welcome that.
Next time you have to
Yeah, you heard it, big man. I want to do it. I want to do it. Wow. So, what does that preparation look like? Because I know the voice is a gift. It's a tool. It's an instrument. What does that look like for you all? You're performing 6 days.
I find honestly, the more I use it, the easier it is.
That's the
If I
exact same
take
way.
time off,
Yep.
that's when I run into trouble.
Yeah, because it's like a muscle that you've conditioned over years and years and years.
And
years.
we're so used to doing it
doing
6
it
nights
6
a week.
weeks. Yeah, and so those times that like in January for close or something, and you have that vocal rest. When it's hard to get back into it.
It's welcome.
Yeah,
to
it's
rest
it,
at that
yeah,
time.
it is.
Then you want to be a little resting. when you
Yeah.
come in.
Yeah,
no,
but
excellent.
it's and I think that's one of the, because I actually have taken some things down because I'm using, again, 6 nights a week, and also using my voice at Fox in the morning, and then, doing all the things in the afternoon. So that is one of the things that I love about this show, is that we have flexibility to, not only that is kind of one of our selling points, is that we're changing things frequently, but because we're not kind of tied down to a show that was produced elsewhere and brought in-house, that has tracks and that has specific things you have to do, and like band, what's called a click track. So all the, normally band members have in their ear the tempo so that nothing ever can change. It can't change. So it provides a little bit of safety, is that it's going to be consistent, but then you can't change it. So that's what I love about, if you're feeling vocal fatigue for some reason, or
You can
just,
lower the key.
you can lower
change
things,
something.
you can swap it out with something lower.
Yep.
So it is a challenge when allergy season strikes, and
Yep.
you're dealing with some junk and some drainage and all that. So it is a challenge sometimes to be able to deliver that money note every night. So it's nice to be able to kind of take it down.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
And I'm telling you, the variety of it all, Think Fam, for me, that's what it is, right? We perform so many different types of songs. And I was literally sitting there that night, and I'm like, it would be amazing if they could perform a slew of sitcom songs. And I tell you,
Oh wow!
and I tell you, the next I'm like, oh my God, so they're reading my mind. Oh my word, yes, you were there.
Yeah, you're right there.
Oh
Yeah,
my
and that one
word.
really goes over well. And when you have an audience that's varied tastes, and everybody's different, so you have to really kind of just hit them with everything you got, different types. So just because you never know.
Gotcha.
Try to have something for everyone.
Yeah,
Try to.
exactly. So, what is your favorite part of the show?
Gosh.
I have to say, The TV medley, the sitcom, the TV medley is my favorite. I think I have the most fun doing it. I do like to I like to singing my mariachi.
Yes.
From my home, my hometown, my home state of Texas. So that's always fun too. But that's me.
The TV might be my favorite. Well, I mean, there's certain moments here of like the songs in my, feature section. But as far as like just fun and you can goof off, and if you get cracked up about something, not only do you not have to stifle that, it's encouraged, like, because you're getting, you're drawing the audience in with it. They're like, oh, she's.
And I feel that way about the singer-songwriter medley.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite.
Yeah, that's fun too.
We get to cut up and
Yes.
interact with each other
Yes.
during that too. So that's always different every night.
Yes, it is.
I love it. I love it. And what I love about this as well is that you all sing together, but then you break off and the stage is yours for that moment. Like, how does that feel? Do you love singing together collectively, or do you love those moments of this is my moment too?
It's both. I mean, it's
both.
Yeah. I think that was so cool about when Greg put us all together. I call us the Avengers. This team. This team. Every time I say put a team together, I think of the I'm Captain America. Okay, I'm Captain America. No, but it's like I obviously know Cindy's voice. I know Chris' voice, and I know, and we've all sung together many times before we came here. I knew it was good. The blend is great. The blend is great. It was going to be good, and it is. It's just very easy to sing with these.
And satisfying. It's really fun.
Because you hear somebody do something, we may just be singing like a background vocal to somebody else's section, and those are some of my favorite moments too, because I love ensemble singing. I mean, it's fun to take the stage, but I love just singing tight harmonies and just hearing the blend and feeling how things morph a little bit night to night, and being able to morph with, so we're constantly not just changing content, but the numbers that are staying the same are morphing slightly as we grow and kind of evolve, and we're like, oh, well, she added this, that, that's cool. Let's go with that, So the creative process to me is really exciting.
It is.
And ongoing, ever changing. So it's also a challenge, but this is not a job that you're like, don't think about until you show up that night. It's something that we're constantly thinking about, and like, oh, what can I do now? Okay, what can I add to this? What's not working in this section or whatever? So that's challenging, but also a lot of fun to have to kind of keep up with, this ever changing, ever growing, morphing thing we call a show,
which is new to all of us.
Yeah,
just so much fun.
Yeah.
I
And we
just
can
love
follow each other's lead too. Like, we've worked enough with each other. If we're like, hey, let's tighten this tempo down on this one particular song. And if she didn't tell me, I'm like, okay, I'm watching Cindy over here. I'm just gonna watch her hand. I know what she's gonna do, and I'm just following her. You know what I'm saying? It's that simple. I mean, but because we've worked with each other so many years, we just kind of feed off each other like that.
I love that. It makes a difference though, because again, with that unity, right, that you all share, you do an amazing job in doing that, giving that experience.
Yeah.
How should we feel when we walk out these doors and we listen to these amazing songs? How should we feel walking out?
Well, the comment that we get almost on a nightly basis is that people come in here and they feel like they're in our living room, that we invited them personally into our living room for this show that we've performed for them. And it really is, the title, Music and Memories, is perfect because like the TV medley, those are going to conjure up memories for people. And so
back
people,
when I was the remote control for my dad, I had
okay.
to go get up, turn the channel. Those memories.
Those memories.
I mean, I don't remember those kind of TVs.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's history buffs, what we are. But no, I think that's what people say that all the time. They say they love the fact that they feel like they're in our living room and they feel like, oh, I feel like we know you. We feel like we're part of your family, and that's exactly what we want. And the other theaters in town, they do a wonderful job, and they're big theaters, and what we have is it's more intimate, and so in that intimacy, we're able to draw people in closer. And that's what's really cool.
And let them get to know us a little bit, where we weren't able to do that prior.
Yes, yeah. So they feel like, yeah, I made a friend tonight.
Yeah.
And you don't go somewhere and listen to even if you have a CD player or some kind of downloaded situation, you can't go many places and hear the Jeffersons.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
So
yeah.
We try to balance, because people, the phrase is that 90% of the people want to hear 10% of the music. So it's a fine line between giving people stuff that they know and go, oh, I love this song. Oh, maybe I haven't heard it like that. We don't want it to all be obscure. So we want the large percentage of people to know and recognize and love the music and maybe have a memory attached, but maybe also go, yeah, this is one that you're not going to hear at a bar and grill. This is one that you're not going to hear in another show. These are a little bit more obscure.
Maybe that arrangement of it too. It's like, oh, maybe another song, but I didn't know that's a really cool one, right? Because she does Somewhere Over the Rainbow, but it's different than what you know from the movie, that Judy Garland did. So it's stuff like that that's really cool.
Yeah.
Keeps the little element of surprise.
And I will say,
along with
we would not be able to do that if it weren't for this band. They're so phenomenal. They have learned, I think, hundreds of songs already, and they're still they're rehearsing it.
We're rehearsing in a few minutes.
Learning new things. So that as much as we want to, let's try this. They're like, okay, give them a minute. Give a minute. I'm gonna learn this, and sometimes it's like, oh, I thought you were gonna do this. I learned this in F and G, and I'm like, it's right in between. It's an F sharp. So sometimes they're learning 3 versions of the same song, trying to figure out what key we might do something in. So we are able to do that because they are so good. And so quick.
Exactly. So a lot of creativity.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. And it doesn't just stop with like, oh, we want to do this song. From the very beginning, when we were putting the show together, it was band members. It was us. It was Greg. It was anybody. We were like, hey, if y'all got any ideas for the show,
let's hear them.
Let's hear them. Throw them on the table and see what sticks. That's what that was another great thing about this is when we were all sitting around the table, figuring out what's going to go in the show. That doesn't work. This works. Let's change this. Let's put that.
The same thing for the upcoming Christmas.
We will be doing the same.
Here we go.
Here we go again.
We started.
It's going to be Christmas in July.
It'll be Christmas in June.
It'll be Christmas in June. It'll be Christmas Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
We're starting Friday.
Yeah.
But yeah, it felt like a construction site because none of these chairs went in here. It was just concrete.
Yeah.
And we had a folding table up in front of all that mess up there, and there was sawdust flying everywhere. And we were just sitting at our folding, just plugging away day after day. Thinking, what about this? Well, let's pair this song with this song. Let's slow the tempo. Let's tag the ending. Like, let's lower the key. I mean, we literally note to note built the entire thing. So that was a very involved but satisfying process once we saw the whole thing, I think, finished and put on its feet.
I love that. Oh my big fan. You have to come out. If you have not been, you have to come. And what I love about it as well is that you give the audience a choice to choose a few songs as well through the app.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my. Exactly.
Yeah, it might be someone's 50th anniversary, or it might be someone's birthday, or someone just like, I just want to listen to that song, and it comes through the app, and we find out before the show typically what's going on. So we usually put it in the second act, there's a little slot in the second act. So yeah, it just gets a little more interactive feature for
keeps it changing.
I love it. I love it. Oh my word. So 6 days a week.
6 days a week. Yep, Monday through Saturday. Shows at 7:00 p.m. Every day. So
and then there'll be some matinees at Christmas.
Yeah.
I think it's always, is it Monday? I think it's
Tuesday,
Thursday, Saturday. Yeah, so I don't think that's going to change. I think that's always Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday matinees throughout. I think all of November, December.
Yeah.
Alrighty, big fam. Again, please come down to the Greg Rolls Legacy Theater.
Come let us love on you.
And you might see him singing next time. So please. Yes.
Gonna do it. Gonna do it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
It was a pleasure.
I love it. Big fam, don't you go away. Back in a moment.
Hey everybody, I'm Jefferson Keith Langley from the Shepherd Studios. You're watching the Michael Finkley Show.
Looking for some of the best soul food right here in Mullins, South Carolina? I promise you. Come on down to Garden Alley.
Our great salad, fabulous. Our Watergate, our potato salad, our chicken is fresh. Macaroni and cheese is salted to perfection. I haven't found anything that's not great. Best ever.
Kind of pudding, cakes, pies. Yeah. selection is huge. Garden Alley is an awesome place to eat. I really love it. Come by and see the amazing staff at Garden Alley, downtown Mullins. On the next Michael Finkley, gospel legend himself, Great Jones, stops by. Plus, gospel newcomer Malcolm Christopher II. Thursday.
Living every day and night as life passes by. Reaching for the stars that sit on high. On every mountain peak, I see.